teams with lofty ambitions, loaded with confidence, loaded with chemistry.
There's no satisfaction. We just got here. We haven't done anything yet.
If you don't bring your A game, it could all be over with.
We watch and wonder, is this the future? They're certain it's their time now.
A lot of people didn't think we was going to make it back here. We got to be ready to compete this time.
We played a really good team in the Timberwolves, and we got to try to beat them 4 times before they beat us 4 times to come out on the right end of it.
The conference finals, a time for focus and character. So close to the goal, with the knowledge and reality of the sacrifice it will take to get there.
Hello and welcome to Hoop Streams presented by Google. I am Vanessa Richardson. I've got Iman Shumpert, and we are so happy and thankful to be joined now by Mike Conley Jr. Mike, ahead of Game 1, how you feeling?
Feeling good, excited. We've had to wait a couple days, so looking forward to finally, competing on the court.
Yeah. When we talk about coming to the Western Conference Finals, you've gotten to dance around the league, so you got to do a lot of stuff. What is the mindset coming in here?
Obviously, you're trying to steal Game 1. You want to try to make a statement. You want to try to be physical early. We know how crazy it is to play here. It is unbelievable home court advantage here, so we have to try to deal with that and handle that adversity early.
Already.
This is your 18th year in the league, so you've seen a lot of basketball. What about this Minnesota Timberwolves team makes you think that you guys can go all the way?
I think the biggest thing, we're resilient. We got a lot of young guys who it may seem like they're really young, but they've kind of been through the struggles. They've been through the ups and downs within the year and within the last couple years, honestly. So they're excited. And then you got Anthony Edwards, you got Julius Randle. You can go as far as they take you. So excited about that.
What is the conversation when you start talking about just the turnover things that people are bringing to you guys and saying that you guys aren't taking care of the ball? What's the conversation in the locker room, and does that bother you guys at all anyway?
Well, it's something that we've had to deal with all season. We know that OKC is a team that does turn you over, and that's something we've been practicing, just kind of working on how we're going to do better with our ball security and having 4 and 5 guys who can bring it up. They like to pressure the ball and try to find a matchup. You want to have somebody else bring it up the ball. And so all those things are on our mind. We know it's part of the game, and we're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I heard you mention Julius Randle. What has he brought to this Minnesota Timberwolves team?
Oh, man, he's done everything. He's brought a level of toughness to our team that and we might not have had in the past. He adds that to our team. His offense has been one of those players who can create for everybody. He's an unselfish dude, physical, and he wears you down over a 4-quarter game. So he's just an unbelievable teammate and been great for us so far.
Well, when you talk about being a veteran guy, what is it that you want to pass down to those guys as they coming into this series? Any guys that haven't been here?
Yeah, take advantage of this opportunity. I've played 18 years, and this is only my 3rd opportunity at this thing. Third time being in the Western Conference Finals. So it doesn't happen every year. You're not going to be blessed to make the playoffs again next year. So really take advantage of this. You never know how many bites of the apple you're going to get. So go out there and leave it all on the court.
Love that.
What changes during the playoffs, if anything? Atmosphere, mindset, the matchups, the level of play, what changes?
I think the mental part of the game picks up even more so than even physicality. You're learning about players and their tendencies. You're learning about the coaches' tendencies. You're learning about what sets they like to run, as you know.
Yeah.
You have to know all that, both offensively and defensively. And it adds a whole level to your game as a player, especially a young player, to come in and have to deal with that and learn that as you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited for. I think when watching this matchup, talking about this matchup on paper, everybody's really excited. But to come here and see Game 1 live, it's going to be cool to see what gets thrown out and then what adjustments are going to be made. I've always loved and enjoyed the playoffs just for all the adjustments that happen. But to see this matchup is really vital for who's going to win the championship. So excited for you guys, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time, Mike. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now is time for an oldie but a goodie, a segment that we like to call Walk It Out. Oh, yeah, we're talking fashion, friends, sports, everything on Hoop Streams, and that includes this next segment, Walk It Out.
Come on now.
mean, all right, I've got two guys with me, Iman and Richard, and they are both very fashionable. So, yep, in my white tee. What do we think of Rudy?
There we go. White tee, coming for business. Don't want too much attention. Got to get a win.
And at 7'2", it's hard to be that icon. But look, Ant got his Cazs on. He casual.
That's Johnny
But he
Cash.
ready to play ball. This is the black version.
Repping
all
the
black,
A.
ready for business.
Oh, yeah.
Repping the A, yeah.
It looks like some Atlanta gear.
How about Chet Holmgren? He looks like maybe he's going
We're
to
going back
church.
to the all-white, man.
Going
Back
to
to the
church?
suit.
I've always said this. If you see a well-dressed tall man, he had to try twice as hard because ain't nothing off the rack. Ain't nothing off the rack.
Dapping everybody up.
That's what that might.
All right, Mr. Wiggins. This is a modern look.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
Like the Bill
that's
Bel-
Russell Westbrook. I got the Westbrook vibe.
Or
Hey,
did you
man,
see
we
the
in
Bill
OKC,
Belichick shirt?
that works.
Yeah, that works.
The
Casual.
holes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I love a
One of the
flannel.
most important pieces to the puzzle tonight, and he ready to chop wood down, chop everything down. Let's do it.
He got that Canadian flannel on
Yes.
too.
Let's do
He
it.
got that Montreal Canadian flannel. I dig it.
I really do love a good flannel,
Love
and
it.
I love you joining our show. What are you looking for tonight, game one?
I'm so glad that my guy Shump is here.
Aw.
I saw him walking out of the hotel. He's like, "Hey, yo!" I was like, "Shump, what's up?" We gave an embrace, and I'm like, "Man, I'm so happy you're gonna be great on TV. You've been outstanding."
thank
When
you.
You told me that you were doing hoop streams. I had to come join. So I just want to say what's up to the hoop streams family, and I gotta go before Mike yells
Yes,
at me.
okay. We
What's
don't
up,
need to get
Richard
yelled at.
Brothers?
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right. We'll set the mic down. We love fashion, as we just talked about, and I know
Yeah.
you love music. You
I
love
do.
dancing. You
I do.
won Dancing with the Stars. Let's go over some albums.
Here we go.
Some album covers from the playoffs. This is hard. This is like the NWA. Like then you've got the really
I love the
dramatic
whiteout.
Pacers cover.
It's real dramatic, but I love the gold. I love that for the Pacers right now, and for what they're doing as a team.
Oh, this one's so good.
Oh yeah, this is the best one.
He
This is the best album.
He should frame that and put that in his house.
I'm not just saying that. Josh Hart, take that album home.
This is like an R&B, like,
Very.
I'll make love to you
This came with dance
like
steps.
you want me to.
That one there came with dance steps. I love this though. I love the whiteout. I love the whiteout on the eyes. I love the focus. I love everything that's
Yeah.
going on. Everything looks like an album cover. I was watching these guys work out and warm up earlier. Everybody's got that look in their eyes. It is really the Western Conference Finals right
Well, one of the fun things about having so many young guys in the Eastern Conference Finals, too, they have a swagger, they have a fearlessness, and they have a flair for the dramatics, which makes for good album covers.
Good album covers, good walk-in outfits. I see it. The headphones are in. The songs are changing up. I'm excited. Me and Richard was just jumping
They
around.
were. I got it on video.
We start jumping around when the music gets loud. You know, the crowd gets loud, the music gets loud, the energy is in the building. I'm just happy to see it right here in OKC.
All right, OKC and the Timberwolves got to the playoffs in very different fashion. So let's go over how the Minnesota Timberwolves got to the Western Conference Finals. Maybe the easiest path. They made quick work of both the Lakers and the Warriors in 5 games. Ant has been unreal, averaging over 26 points a game with 6 assists. But Julius Randle, especially in round 2 versus the Warriors, really stepped it up, scoring 29 points in that final closeout game. Now the Timberwolves are just 4 wins away from the franchise's first ever NBA Finals appearance, Iman, and this is something that this franchise has wanted since KG was here.
Yes. It's very important for them, especially to get off on the right foot. I love seeing Ant-Man and them just be carefree as they're coming in here. But I hope that they know that they got their work cut out for them because OKC's ready. They waiting. And you got to steal one. You got 2 games in here, but you got to steal one before we get up out of here.
All right, be honest. Did you have the Timberwolves going back and returning to the Western Conference Finals at the start of the playoffs?
I actually did.
Okay.
The Timberwolves, for me, are the most dangerous team. Ant-Man is one of those guys that if you can keep him away from getting a title, you keep it away from him because that becomes scary for the rest of the league. So I thought they'd be coming here. It'd just be exciting to see who they match up with in the East Conference.
I really liked what Chris Finch said that he told his team. He said, y'all need to prove that you going to the finals last year, that Western Conference Finals was not a fluke. They proved that it wasn't a fluke.
They are proving it's not a fluke, and I think they're going to continue to do that. Coming out here and playing well in the first game, it means a lot to everybody, but it sends a message to all teams left.
How about a trade that benefited both teams? You don't see it very often, not just in basketball, in really any sport, but the Timberwolves and Knicks did this trade. It came at a very unexpected hour. The biggest parts of it, of course, the Knicks receiving Cat, and then Timberwolves receiving Julius Randle. This is one of those rare trades, like I said. Not only did it work out for both sides, but at first, maybe Julius Randle wasn't making his impact as known, but the last half of the season and during the playoffs in that second round, wow, he was the enforcer.
Well, the ability of Julius Randle to change not only how your team plays, but to change the toughness and the way you're allowed to guard their star. The trade was beneficial for both teams. I think Cat played well right away because it translated the way Knicks play. And with Julius Randle, it's the same thing. Ant-Man getting behind it, getting into playoff basketball. When they made that trade, Minnesota knew what they were getting in Julius Randle, and they're reaping the benefits right now.
Well, and you heard Mike Conley Jr., 18 years in the league. He has played with and against a lot of great leaders. He raved about Julius Randle and the impact he's had.
Oh, yeah. Playing in the league and going against so many guys, I've seen the step-off artists, and I understand that the game has become shooting. But his ability to put his head down and force the ref to make a call, his ability to put his head down and inspire the other guys on his team to leave that three-pointer line alone sometimes, drive it in there, because when you get 2 feet in the paint, good things happen. Him doing that for that team has been unbelievable.
Is there a winner of the trade, in your opinion?
No, I like the fit on both sides. I know I was the guy that said, Cat and Brunson at the end of the game doesn't scare me. But when I look at it now, I'm starting to understand what the Knicks understood, where they're not looking to play Stockton Malone. I think they like having that 1-4 low, and they like having Cat there, because if you do make a mistake, Cat will make you pay. So I like the chemistry. It's not Stockton Malone, but hey, man, it's Cat and Jalen, and I'll take it.
All right, so we talked about how the Timberwolves got here. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they were playing like 48 hours ago. Let's talk about their path to the Western Conference Finals. Like I said, 48 hours removed from that Game 7 thrashing against the Nuggets. Polar opposite from that first-round sweep of the Grizzlies. So the depth, the suffocating defense has been the story for OKC. Yes, they have that potential MVP winner in SGA, but big contributions from Dort, Wallace, all these guys with lockdown defense on Jokic, all across the board. These guys really stepped up, and that's how they earned this home court advantage.
Without a doubt. We know what we're going to get out of Shai. We know at the end of the game where the ball's got to go and who it has to go through. But it's those other guys doing all the important things. Every time you think it's about to go south, you'll see Lou make a quick deflection. You'll see Williams make a big bucket or an isolated move into somebody that's wide open, because you're showing so much shade towards Shai. I just think that they've done an unbelievable job of being patient, letting their leader get out there and take all the attention, and then continuing to keep that same intensity as the series go on.
And we talk about the steals and the points off of turnovers. They've been able to turn that defense into offense, which is critical.
Yeah, they make people pay. They get out there and run. They show their youth. I love that for them. When I look at it now, I just look at them not having as long to sit and being in rhythm. The scary thing about the playoffs is sitting and waiting on somebody. You either come out with a flat tire or you come out here and you're ready to go. We're going to see who they are in the first couple of minutes, and hopefully they can keep rolling.
Some people act like youth is a disadvantage, and in certain cases it is. But how has OKC's youth contributed to them getting here?
They don't stop coming.
Right.
The thing about the youth, they don't stop coming, and they're not scared to try new things. With an older team, a more veteran team, way more principled. We used to call it more discipline back then, but I think it's just more of a principle thing where we know who our guy is. We know who's getting all the big money. We're going to throw it in there, and we're going to make them earn it, especially toward the end of the game. I think the cool thing about the game changing is you have a lot of different guys that step up at the end, and they make themselves a household name just from other guys being unselfish from that moment. So excited to see who's going to be unselfish tonight, who's going to step up. Again, game 1, game 2, really pivotal, because you want to see if somebody's going to steal a win. Hopefully OKC can hold it down at home, because their fans are ready. I hear the energy. I feel the energy. I'm excited.
And they've got that team. They've just got such a boyish charm where they all have each other's backs. They join each other for the interviews. The synergy is definitely there. All right. Obviously, we're covering the Western Conference Finals on site, but we got to talk about the East as well, because that Pacers-Knicks rivalry. It was alive and well when I was growing up in Indiana back in the 90s. I know you know a thing or two about this as somebody that played for the Knicks. Let's start out with the 94 Eastern Conference Finals. Reggie Miller gives the choke sign to Spike Lee after hitting that big shot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, something like that. You know, Spike Lee want to be part of the game. Make him part of the game, man. That's what this is about. Anytime we could get inspired by a fan, anything.
Anything. 8 points, 9 seconds in 1995. And then Larry Johnson hitting a 4-point play to win Game 3 back in 1999.
Yeah.
And how about this? How about Nuck If You Buck? Jalen Rose and Patrick Ewing. Oh, my gosh. And then 2000 Eastern Conference Finals, Reggie Miller scores 34 points in Game 6 to send Indiana to the NBA Finals. This is a rivalry that has never gone away, and now they're going to meet, of course, in the Eastern Conference Finals. And with more on that, we welcome in the insider, Brian Windhorst. So,
hey, real quick, whenever I'm with a 2016 Cavs, it's a special moment.
Oh, man, good to see you. Good
you covered that team very closely. What was he like as a player, real quick?
He was a defensive.
I love that. All right, so the Knicks and Pacers met last year, but the Knicks are a revamped team, so it's almost hard to even compare it. What's your prediction, and what's going to be key for them to get it done?
So we saw in the last round,
right?
Absolutely, the Pacers crushed the Cavs on the wings. The Cavs just don't have as much size on the wings. The Knicks, the trades that the Knicks made to get OG Anunoby, to get Mikal Bridges, those trades were made to beat the Celtics, but guess what? It also is going to work against the Pacers because the Pacers have great size, great athleticism on the wings. You're not going to look at Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard and you're going to say, oh my gosh, they're amazing. But they are absolute difference makers. They crushed the Cavs. Last year, remember, they didn't have Anunoby for most of that series. He hurt his hamstring. That was a big difference maker. The Knicks got up 2-0 in that series.
They did.
And they also traded for Mikal Bridges. So the wing play, I know we're all going to look at Brunson and Haliburton, and we should. The wing play is going to be a really big deal in that series.
I agree with you. I think I was saying the same thing. A lot of this playoffs is about matchups. And like you were saying, what they did was for Boston. To see them get past them and to see things open up for them, I'm excited. But it does come down to those other guys because we know what Jalen's going to do. But we want to see what happens at the end of games when he doesn't have to work as hard. That's how we know how good your group is.
There are always role players that pop off during the finals, aren't there?
Yeah.
And that make a difference. But let's talk about Tyrese Haliburton and Jalen Brunson. Which star guard is going to be more key to their team's success?
So Brunson's got the ball in his hand a lot. I mean, he is dribbling more than just about anybody in the NBA.
Right.
And so they really rely on him to set stuff up. Haliburton is more of a player who pushes the pace. His job is to get things going. Brunson makes so much happen for them, but he's so good at it, and he's such a great isolation player. And even when he's not shooting well, he can score. Whereas Haliburton, I think, is more in need of him being hot shooting to get his points up there. Brunson has a bigger import on the game. Plus, Haliburton plays a lot fewer minutes.
So true.
They need a lot of minutes from Brunson.
I think right now we look to see what we see from Jalen. But I think Haliburton, like you said, the way he's able to get more guys involved, it just causes for more weapons at the end. I think that's what's been shooting the Knicks in the foot the whole season, is seeing how much Brunson has to pull out. And if he doesn't have it that night, you're searching. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like, giving it to Cat in such a second option type of feeling because you know that pressure that comes with that. So when I look at Haliburton, it's just more of a free flow, more calm, and when he comes and puts the gas on, if you're not ready, they do separate from you very quickly.
That's true.
Both stars are very fun, and they both love the WWE. They actually faced off in the WWE ring. This is from a couple months ago, the only NBA Eastern Conference Finals preview you need. And these guys are actually, okay, so my full-time job is with the Rockets. We had Booker T, Houston native, at one of the games that the Rockets were playing the Pacers, and Tyrese Haliburton was very, very excited. So I think they're authentic WWE fans. Shump, who would you want to go one-on-one with in the ring?
I don't know, man.
Brunson would throw you over the ropes.
Jalen looked like the little spark plug, man. I think I could get up under Tyrese, man. I hate to call you out,
He's
man.
got the high waist.
Yeah, I can get up under there, man. He played with a high dribble.
All about strategy. All right, quickly, gentlemen, what's your pick for game one? Who wins tonight? Who wins tonight? Who wins tonight?
Who wins tonight? Ooh, I'm looking.
Tomorrow, excuse me.
Tomorrow,
Knicks,
tomorrow,
yes.
my bad. I told you it get loud in here. Once that music gets to going, the crowd
That's my
gets to
fault.
going.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Tomorrow I got the Knicks, man.
Okay.
I got the Knicks.
I'm not going to pick the game, but I will say this. The game is going to be the most important thing for the Knicks is to maintain the momentum.
Yep.
They've lost some games at home in the postseason. They've had great momentum. They need to keep it going.
I love it.
All right, it's time to take a look at what fans are searching for, presented to you by Google. And according to Google, searches for best defensive guards in the NBA spiked 350%.
That's your music, Shump. That's your music.
There it goes.
He's having a good time. 350% in the U.S. over the past week. So you wanted to share your defensive threats.
Yeah.
Looking ahead of this conference final series. So you might have been one of those fans using Google. We all use Google. We all love Google. Top 3 impact defenders of the conference finals. Number 3, who you got?
Right now, I'm looking at Tyrese Haliburton.
Okay.
I'm looking at Tyrese. Tyrese is one of those guys that can guard multiple people on the perimeter, but the thing I like most about him is that when a guy breaks him down and gets to the rim, you can go up there and you can get a block. You can meet people at the rim and you're strong enough to finish at the rim and do things and then do it on the other side. That creates a lot of energy for the other guys on your team. Seeing him get so many runouts after a big stop, a rebound and a push, or a big stop, a block, and then a push to a score, that blows the lid off the top.
All right, number 2, who you got?
Number 2, I'm going to have to go LG. When I look at him, another guy that is able to guard multiple positions, but the thing that I like most about him is that he sits. He will sit in the stance, he'll stay in your hip, and he won't allow you to be as athletic. When people see him, they don't want to just drive the ball down. They want to go and figure out a ball screen, figure out a matchup, and I love that for him. I feel like if he's going it, he's just got to get to the point where at the end of the game, he wants to guard the best player, and he can do it every night.
And your number 1 is?
It's always going to be Rudy Gobert. It's going to have to be. I know guys have a lot of different comments about him right now, but when you get out here and you look at him, this is a guy that's going to change shots. He's not only going to change shots, he's going to change schemes. He's going to change the way that you guys can move and do things on the offensive end, and anybody that can do that is always going to be out there. It's like having a defensive back or a corner. If they don't throw over there, they must be pretty good. I don't think a lot of guys are attacking the rim when they see him, and the guys that do, good things happen if you can make him stop blocking shots.
Those are the top 3 impact defenders, according to Iman Shumpert. All right, you are watching Hoop Streams, presented by Google.
Look, I got a sweat going, man. I'm ready to get out there now. I've been dancing, jumping around too much.
Yeah, you could get 12 to 14.
Yeah, I've been out here too long, man.
He is sweating. He and Richard Jefferson were dancing as we are just minutes away from Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. SGA in his 11 matchups versus the Timberwolves has dominated, averaging just over 34 points a game. Can he continue his dominance against Ant-Man and Rudy Gobert? Let's get to our main attraction as we talk about the game topics. Looking ahead to Game 1, Timberwolves and Thunder met 4 times during the regular season. They split that series 2-2, but Julius Randle did not play in 3 out of the 4 games. Aman, how much do teams weigh the regular season outcomes when it comes to playoffs, or do they just throw it out the window?
You don't ever throw out what your scheme is. I think that during the season is one thing, but during the playoffs, you just want to buckle down more. We're going to key in more. We're going to lock in more. We're going to communicate more. We're going to be a little more aggressive. But we're also going to understand the clock. We're also going to understand the situation. During the regular season, you want to play a lot of those situations out so that you can prepare yourself mentally for what you're going to have to do. But in the playoffs, you see very quickly how much a mental lapse or a mental mistake can cause a 6-0 run, an 8-0 run that you can't recover from. Every mistake you make here in the playoffs is going to be a dunk, or it's going to be a 3, and then it's going to be a timeout. Then you can come have a seat next to coach.
All right, the Timberwolves will seek to avoid being the first team to lose consecutive Western Conference Finals since the Suns in 05 and 06. How much is that motivating these guys, Brian?
I think tonight's an important night because last year it was the Wolves coming off a 7-game series with the Nuggets.
Yep.
They came in, they were feeling so great about themselves. They come in at home and they get slapped down by Luka and the Mavericks. And that night, you could tell they were still feeling the effects. Now they got 5 days off. It's the Thunder who are coming off a 7-game series at home, who might relax. So I think you're going to see Ant come out tonight and show the lessons that they learned last year when they weren't mentally ready for game one, and they were still had their heads in the last series, and try to do that to the Thunder. So I think you see Ant with a lot of energy, looking to take advantage of the extra rest that they had coming into this game.
SGA and Ant finished first and second in total points this season. It's the first time the top two players in total points will face off in the conference or NBA Finals since James Harden against Steph Curry in the 2015 conference finals. Iman, if you're game planning against them, who scares you more?
Ooh, for me, it's Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man has one of those talents that when you see him play, you just don't want to let him get his hands on a championship trophy. If he does, I think that changes the trajectory for the league for the next couple of years.
He's right.
He's
right.
When I look at the other side, I see Shai being a good champion. I just think he's going to be a professional about it. I love the nonchalant attitude, and he's a star in this league.
He's swaggy.
He very much so is, but I just think with Shai, a lot of people would be able to see it and see the nonchalant and maybe think, oh man, well, we didn't have it this year, maybe we got it next year. I think it's a very scary thing to give Anthony Edwards a championship trophy.
Shump, do you ever play triangle and two in the NBA?
Never.
The last time these two teams played here in February, the Wolves ran a triangle and two on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wow.
Watch and see if they go back to that tonight, if they get in trouble.
I don't know. I just don't see it for the league doing the triangle and two. I saw it a bunch of times in college, but in the league,
it happened right here on this floor in February.
It's tough to do, especially in these playoffs.
All right.
Does the winner of this series become the future face of the league, SGA and Ant?
They got to win the whole thing. But I so agree with him. Ant Edwards is ascendant, and he's hunting the players that in front of him in the league. He wants to put them up on his wall. He is so motivated by success. He is so motivated coming into this series to make an atonement for last year. This is a guy who could end up being a transformational player in the NBA, and he has gotten the cusp of making his first finals run.
All right, who do you guys got for game one? Give me your predictions. Will the Timberwolves or the Oklahoma City Thunder take game one tonight?
Ooh. I don't see them stealing game one, so I'm going to give OKC game one. I think if anything gets stolen, it'll be game two.
I think one of two things happens. Oklahoma City wins big.
Okay.
Or the Wolves win it at the end.
Okay. We have a prediction for amount of games in the series.
Yeah. These two teams are too tight.
I know think it could go 7.
I know that one is technically the 6th seed, one's technically the 1 seed. This is a 6-game series at least.
Yep.
Yeah, I say the same thing. It goes 6. I don't know which way it goes. I will know after game one, though.
All right, thank you for watching Hoop Streams, presented by Google. Wendy, thank you for joining us. Iman and I will be back with you before game 2.
It's time, man. I need to get out there.
Let's go. You're sweating.
I'm ready.